Shout out to my brother Ticket, man. Shout out to LDBC. Shout out to all the brothers that been supporting the movement, supporting this content, that been behind this movement. Uh, I want to touch on something regarding Shannon Sharpe, man, and how he's been moving and how he's been carrying himself in regards to how he calls out other people. But he does basically the same thing that he's trying to call out other people for. Basically, what he did to Kwame and how he carries himself when it comes to LeBron, it's very unprofessional. It's very disgusting, in my opinion. When you talking about sports, when you trying to give analysis on sports, you should never let your biased point of view show in the public eye. You should never show that side of you. You could do that behind the scenes. You could do that when you talking stuff and all that barbershop talk. But when you're in a professional setting, you should never show your biasness because you're really just trying to analyze the game and really give an honest perspective, an honest point of view on what you're actually seeing out there, and give an honest view so other people can kind of relate to what's going on. Um, Shannon Sharp was very disrespectful to Kwame due to Kwame basically analyzing what he saw in LeBron James in that last second shot. 'Cause that's all Kwame was talking about. I didn't feel like it was any hate or any shade towards LeBron James. He was analyzing the moment, and then he threw other emphasis on it, basically describing what he feel like LeBron James hasn't worked on his whole career. I did not see that as a problem. I didn't think it was a big deal. He never talked about LeBron's legacy. He didn't disrespect LeBron's legacy. He didn't talk about LeBron's this, LeBron that. All he analyzed was that play, and all he analyzed a weakness that is very visible that we've been seeing throughout his whole career. Um, why like a lot of things that he probably could have made easier on himself he don't due to the fact of those various weaknesses that Kwame spoke upon. But and we got to understand too when we hear guys like the Kendrick Perkins, the JJ Reddicks, even Ryan Hollins of the world, and guys like that play professional ball. Yes, we may not like what they say, but in all actuality, they actually played in NBA circles. They actually been on the NBA roster. They actually played minutes in the NBA. So in a sense, they know what go on behind the scenes. They understand certain aspects of the game that us fans or us viewers wouldn't understand. So yes, we may not like a lot of things they're saying. Yes, sometimes they are heavily influenced by the media in regards to taking certain stances that they probably normally wouldn't take. But in some instances, though, we do got to understand the professional athletes. They're gonna have more knowledge into the NBA than we would because they actually play for the association. So we gotta do better. We gotta do better than how we treat these former athletes that analyze the game. But Shannon Sharp crossed the line, and I think he did something that he should not have did in that situation. His recent behaviors. Let's just look for instance. He was about to fight a whole Memphis Grizzlies team due to the Grizzlies having trash talk with LeBron and Shannon Sharp wanting to stick his neck out there and talk trash with LeBron and go all out, arguing with John Morant's father, arguing with John Morant, Steven Adams, and Dylan Brooks of those boys. About to go to war with a whole team due to his biasness and due to how he carrying himself when it comes to his fanboyism for LeBron Ramon James. Um, I just think that's very unprofessional. I think he should have had some punishment in regards to that, and I think he should have. I think he should be banned for going to any NBA game in regards to that type of behavior. End of the day, when it comes to how Shannon treated Kwame Brown, why he didn't go with Skip Bayless like that when Skip Bayless went personal at Shannon Sharp because of how Shannon Sharp gave an honest analysis about Tom Brady. And Skip Bayless took offense to that and took a shot at Shannon Sharp's legacy and football career because of Skip Bayless's biasness for Tom Brady. We didn't see Shannon Sharp defend himself properly or call out Skip Bayless for the disrespect and how he could talk about somebody and he never played any type of sport professionally. He did not come and skip batters like that. His feelings were hurt. He was very emotional, but he did not disrespect Skip Bayless in the way that he disrespected Kwame Brown, in which a guy, Shannon Sharpe, previously said before these initial comments about Kwame. He initially said that Kwame Brown wasn't a bust. So now, because Kwame Brown had an opinion about LeBron, you went there and took a personal one and took shots at his career. You just went through the same thing with Skip Bayless. So why would you do that, Shannon Sharp? So it's really sad of what we're seeing from Shannon Sharp and how he's carrying himself, and we got a lot of innocents like that. We got a lot of them like that, man. And end of the day, when the former athletes are part of the media, I think they could. I think they don't realize how much power they have into changing narratives and to shut it down the narratives that the media create. The former athletes actually could shut all that down if they actually come together and speak the real, and because they know what all their peers be saying in all these different various sports. They know all this. So the former athletes that be on these networks can actually change the way the media is holding themselves when it comes to analyzing sports, period. But they actually don't realize the power that they got. And it's very disappointing. Cause in all actuality, when we do get the real athletes on there that speak the real, a la Tracy McGrady, we really haven't seen him on TV ever since he kept the run hunting on certain topics. But imagine as a collective unit, you had all them come together, but like, nah, we not going for that. You want us on TV? You want a professional outlook on things? You want an opinion on how we view the game? Let us be us and let us give you our honest opinions about what we're seeing out there on the court. We don't need it to be media driven. So at the same time, these former players could really change the game and bring the realness to the sports media. But at the same time, they let their biasness get in the way. They let their fanboyism get in the way, and they sell their souls for certain situations so they could eat or rather they could survive in this media game. Um, it just sad, man, and I'm very disappointed in how Shannon Sharp handled that because he had an opportunity to check Skip Bayless for the similar situation, and instead of him checking Skip Bayless, he was very emotional and in his feelings rather than letting Skip Bayless know that you couldn't even be a bust because you never made it in the sports period. You had to be a journalist because you was always a fanboy for sports. He could have been checked Skip Bayless on that. But instead you becoming what Skip Bayless is, a biased fanboy. That's what you became, Shannon Sharp, a biased fanboy. And end of the day, how you came at Kwame, that was very unprofessional and very disappointing from another black man. And John Wick, you could jump on the panel right now. Ticket, drop the link for this buffoon John Wick so I can go ahead cook him. Cause I respect him for facing the music when he came up on Showtime panel the other day to face the music. But we know it was Shannon Sharp was out of line for how he came with Kwame Brown. Cause Kwame Brown did not once say anything about LeBron James' legacy. All he talked about LeBron James don't have any go-to moves. All he talked about LeBron James don't have spots on the court that most all-time greats do. That's all he pointed out. He still didn't take away any. He still couldn't. He still can't take away the greatness of LeBron James. So I mean, why Shannon Sharp took it that far? It was nothing to take far back. I can see it. Kwame Brown said, "Man, that's why LeBron James not even the top 10 player of the game because of that. That's different. Now you could get on him. Now you make a view Kwame as a hater if Kwame came at that angle. But all Kwame was talking about that Pacific play that he couldn't get a shot off against Denver in game 4, and he talked about why he struggles, why always struggled with that due to him not having spots on the court and not having any go-to moves. So he actually told the truth. So I mean, he didn't really diss him. And Shannon Sharpe was out of line, and he was very unprofessional. And the very thing that he was very emotional and was crying about when it came to Skip Bayless, he did it to Kwame Brown. So he's a hypocrite. Shannon Sharpe is a hypocrite, and he's very unprofessional, and he's a fanboy. He's a real deal fanboy. He about to fight 23, a whole group of 25 or under kids over this man, LeBron James. You real deal sold your soul, brother. Come on, man. It's really a shame. And we gotta, and us in these YouTube streets, we gotta call these guys out and check them for the stuff that they do. And the problem too, and the problem too, a lot of brothers that do side with LeBron or love LeBron, they are taking shots at Kwame as well. But they take bits and pieces of what they want and they can create it into something that's even bigger instead of actually listening to what he really was breaking down. Shout out to Italian, man. Shout out to Go Talk. Shout out to Go shout out to Go James. Shout out to Wu 2 J the 4. Shout out to Logical. Shout out to Anthony Eason, Divine, Easy 06, Kenneth Snell, Crown 64. Shout out to Eva John Wick, Captain Self. Shout out to Ant. Shout out to Wilts. Shout out to Divine Unity and Kyle Brown. Shout out to all y'all that been coming through showing love. So and Anthony said, I can answer that because they know if they press the issue, if they know they attack the character, if they go, let's just say they put an all out war on Chael Sonnen and attack his character. If they do that, they playing right into Chael Sonnen's hands, and now you put Chael Sonnen in a position. Now he's gonna defend his name. Now he's gonna start bringing proof out since you want to call him a liar. So that's a situation that they don't want to put themselves in because they don't understand they don't know what Chael's gonna have or don't have. So that's a risk you don't want to take, especially if you know you have used PEDs. So you got to look at it from that standpoint as maybe a risk you don't want to take. So we're not gonna press the issue. We're not even gonna speak on it. So if they start going to Chael Sona and talk about his character, that's kind of a risky situation. So that's why Anthony Eason, you really haven't heard about that. Man, y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe as you coming in. We trying to get this channel to 100,000. We trying to get Ticket TV 2 to 100,000 as well. We trying to even get pro basketball updates to 100,000. So man, y'all hit that like and subscribe and show love. Cause you know what they did, our brother was not they was on call for the scamming, the hate, and all that. We gonna get all this channel to 100,000 and plus. They can't stop the real. So we just gotta be honest. Oh yeah, go talk. Yeah, Kobe and Jordan had spots on the floor, and it doesn't matter what defense you put on that. Once they get to that spot, that was money, and that's what Kwame Brown was alluding to. But instead, they took it as Kwame Brown being a hater. And he not once said LeBron James is not great. He did not once say he didn't even talk about the all time greats for as if LeBron is not an all time great and he's not top 5 and not top 10. He ain't said nothing out of line like that. So I don't know why Kwame's getting all this hate. Big Dog Hunter, yeah, salute to you. Yeah, this Herm, man. This Herm, brother. This Herm. Hey, Italian, that's a fact, bro. They never gonna hold the real down, bro. They never gonna hold the real down. That's why we gonna keep grinding. That's why we gonna get to it. But Shannon Sharp was foul for that because you were just in Kwame Brown's shoes. What you did to Kwame, it just happened to you when Skip Bayless did it. Cause he felt like you was disrespecting Tom Brady, but you gave an honest analysis of Tom Brady of what you were seeing on the field this season for Tom Brady. And guess what Skip did? He took it personal because Skip is a fanboy of Tom Brady, like you a fanboy of LeBron Ramon James. That's just the honest man. Shout out to Will the Thrill. You was a skip. You was crying on set. Skip, you out of line, Skip. I got 3 Super Bowls, Skip. I'm in the Hall of Fame, Skip. You was in your feelings when Skip Bayless did that because you was calling out Tom Brady and calling out the obvious of Tom Brady. I agreed everything with you when you spoke about Tom Brady, Shannon Sharpe. And you got G check when Skip said, "Put your glasses back on." You got G check. That's Skip. That's Skip. But when Kwame basically analyzed LeBron James and what he saw on the court, which is very accurate, you did what Skip did to you, and you try to take shots at Kwame Brown. Now, do I agree with everything Kwame Brown do? Hell no, I don't. I don't never agree with everything a man does per se. But in this situation, he did not hate on LeBron. He did not throw any shade. He didn't do to LeBron what I would actually do to LeBron. Kwame actually gave honest analysis. He gave an honest opinion about what he saw on that last shot. So we just got to be honest about that. Yeah, my bad, y'all. My bad on that. But yeah, y'all, man, this man Shannon Sharp, man, just being very hypocritical and being very disrespectful, man, and it's really sad and it's really a damn shame of how he carried himself, man. Reggie Jackson, it's not about LeBron, it's about Shannon Sharp. It's about Shannon Sharp. Now, Big Dog Hunter, I was talking to my wife, man. My wife was asking me something. That's why I went on mute right fast. That's my wife. So, but nah, but end of the day, y'all, man, it just very unprofessional of how he handled himself and how he was basically crying about how Skip Bayless came in him. He should not have did that. You know what I'm saying? He should not have crossed that line because that's a dangerous play. Now you in the situation. Kwame Brown don't have to be censored. Kwame Brown don't have to be professional. He just said right. Kwame Brown don't have to be professional at all. So he could come at you any type of way, and that's a dangerous situation of him doing it. So he probably should not have done that. But that's crazy of how they doing things. I'm gonna tell Ticket to drop the link right quick. I'm gonna go on mute for a second. Give me 1 second, y'all. Hey, that boy Lil T, man, that's a fact, man. He exposed them because Shannon Sharp did say Kwame Brown is not a bust. So now all of a sudden, because he came at your king and came at your boy, you really, you really, you know what I'm saying, showed your true colors and you let out some feelings of frustration and anger because somebody said something about your favorite player and you got in your feelings. That's all it's about, man. Shannon Sharp really made a huge mistake, man. And he's gonna keep getting exposed for the hypocrisy that it created, for how you come at these black athletes or former athletes, but you can't even confront and handle Skip Bayless in the right fashion. Even Stephen A. Smith checked Skip Bayless before. Even Stephen A. did. And Skip Bayless put on Stephen A. basically. And Stephen A. still would come harder at Skip Bayless than you ever have. So I mean, Shannon, man, you gotta let that fanboyism out. Cause what are you going to do when LeBron James retire? What you gonna do then? When LeBron finally do step away from the game, John Wick. I hope Ticket drop this link in a minute because I do want to hear your point of view, John Wick, and I want you to explain how he's capping, how he doesn't make sense. So, John Wick, I'm gonna ask you this: do LeBron James have go-to moves? Have LeBron James ever had a go-to move in his career? As great as he is, have he ever had a go-to move? And also, part two to that question, John Wick, does LeBron James have certain spots on the court to the point where no matter what defenses is thrown at him, that once he get to that spot, is money? Do LeBron James have that? That's the question I'm asking you, John Wick, because if you answer that properly, that means Kwame Brown was the captain. But hold on, I'm a big dog hunter. That's the only spot he do have. And hey, I'm finna tell Ticket again to drop the link. Yeah, I just wanted to touch on. I just, yeah, John Wick. Those are really questions. Like, does LeBron James have any go-to moves, and does he have spots on the court? That's all I'm at. Uh, end of the day, okay, okay. I just was looking at some stuff right quick, but I know Ticket is very busy. I know he's very busy, so I mean, if he doesn't drop the link, it's all good. So I gotta ask y'all from the chat how y'all feel. So when I'm asking you guys, what I'm gonna ask you guys though, John Wick, and you gotta answer it. I want you to answer, so I'm gonna ask you one more time, John Wick. Does LeBron James have a go-to move? And also, does LeBron James have spots on the floor to no matter what defense is thrown at him? Once he get to that spot, he's money no matter what. Does he have that in his arsenal? That's all I want to know, John Wick. And I want you to answer that honestly. It's still by you answering that honestly does not take away from LeBron James' greatness. So let's get that out the way too, so you can answer it truthfully, John Wick. I got Tony C answering honestly. Mr. Jackson answering honestly. You got a lot of guys answering this honestly. But I need to ask. I want John Wick to answer the truth. It still doesn't take away from LeBron James being the top five all time great. Because I still got LeBron James in the top five, despite his inabilities to do certain things. He's still a top five great of all time, in my opinion. Now, when it be proven that he used PEDs, I told y'all what I'm gonna do to him. But until then, he's a top five player all time, in my opinion. Despite of him not having certain, despite of him not having a go-to move, and despite of him not having spots on the court that no matter what, once he gets to it, he's money. He's still a top five great. So that speaks to his greatness, John Wick. No, but John Wick, because you hit game winners doesn't mean that you great. Because when you in those situations a million times like LeBron James, you gonna have an opportunity to hit a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? Like Jordan barely was in those situations, but when he was, money. Kobe Bryant in those situations, money. You know what I'm saying? And end of the day, when people come up with the most game winners, hell, that even shows even more to prove certain point of views that everybody have. That's what made Jordan so great. He didn't have to be in those situations a million times to hit game winners because he normally annihilates and dominates his competition. That shows dominance when you don't be in those situations all the time. LeBron be in those situations all the time because let's be honest, as great as he is, he really never dominated the competition. You never had a period of time that you could say for like a 6 to 8 year span that, dang man, nobody can mess with LeBron, bro. Nobody can mess with him. You literally can't say that because, in all honesty, LeBron James didn't become the best player in the NBA to 2012, 2013. That's when he actually took over. Because, in all honesty, Kobe was getting older. And plus, injuries happened to Kobe Bryant as well, which ultimately led to LeBron James taking over the mantle. Because Kobe Bryant, let's be honest, Kobe Bryant was the best player from 2006 to 2012 in the NBA. But in all honesty, the top three players in the league from 2000 to 2010, it was Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal. I didn't put no order on it, but those were the top three players from 2000 to 2010. So, but Kobe officially took over Tim Duncan and Shaq from 2006, in my opinion, to all the way to 2012. So Kobe had the mantle for 6 years, but he was a top three player for 2000 to 2000 to 2012 for sure. John Wick, I don't know what Ticket doing, bro. I don't know what Tim Duncan do. I don't know what Ticket is doing, bro. I think Ticket got some stuff going on, man. Because he told me he was gonna be back, but I don't know. Ticket got some stuff going on. But John Wick, LeBron didn't take over till 2012. I lie his best season in my that was his best season in my opinion as well. 2012. So I'm letting you know. Yes, on John Wick, Kobe was better in 2010, and plus he repeated, and plus 2010 was the last year that he ended his run of making it to the NBA Finals because he made it to the finals for 3 straight years, waiting on LeBron James. Kobe Bryant made it to the finals 2008, 2009, 2010. So Kobe Bryant was the best player in the game. Kobe Bryant was reigning Finals MVP in 2010. So yes, John Wick, he was. Yeah, KGE, my 89, ticket probably got some company, man. You know, no telling what that nigga got going on, to be honest. He probably do. But John Wick from 2000 to 2010, it was Shaquille O'Neal, Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant. Those the guys that were winning most of the championships. Those are guys that really almost won all the championships from 2000 to 2010. You may have had the Detroit Pistons snuck in and got one. He had, you had, well, I can't include Miami because Shaq was on that Miami team in 2006. So in all honesty, you guys, and it was Detroit Pistons and Boston Celtics was the only two teams from 2000 to 2010 that won outside of Kobe, Shaq, and Tim Duncan. So they actually dominated the decade. In all honesty, you never could really say that for LeBron. So from LeBron's first ring for 2012, and we could go to 2022. It was really, it was really LeBron. LeBron won four. Curry won four. Yeah, Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard got a couple of even Tim Duncan, because Kawhi Leonard was with Tim Duncan one of those years. Even Tim Duncan got a ring. So in all honesty, Giannis got one. I mean, we just gotta be real. A lot of other guys ate on the man watch. Kevin Durant got two of them. I mean, a lot of guys ate. So we just gotta be honest. John Wick. But I'm just saying, from that decade, those the guys that was winning all the championships. From 2000 to 2010, John Wick, just think about what I'm saying. The only two teams that won in that time, outside of anybody that played with Shaq, Duncan, and Kobe, it was Detroit, the 2004 Pistons, and the 2008 Celtics with KG, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce. Other than that, it was either Tim Duncan raising the trophy, Kobe raising the trophy, or Shaq raising the trophy. It was those three guys year after year. In the 8 year span, those guys were winning all the championships. And Kobe, from 2000 to 2010, won 5 championships. Won five. He went to 6 finals in 10 years. So I mean, and I actually he went to seven finals in 10 years. Went to seven finals. I know John Wick. A lot of you guys always speak upon LeBron eight straight run, but imagine going to seven finals in 10 years and you won five. You won five out of those seven. I mean, Kobe don't get a lot of credit for that. But then again, it ain't surprising that people hate. I mean, it's surprising that people don't like to give the just due to certain things. Oh yeah, and Shaq went to the finals in his third season in the NBA. He went to the finals in his third season. But John Wick, man, I know you love your king. I know LeBron James, he's an all-time great. You know, he set the movement for player movement. He made it cool for players to be, what I'm saying, to make their own moves and join their own rosters. I understand all that, bro. But at the same time, at the same time, when you sit up there and you want to give LeBron credence, you want to give him credit, you gotta do the same thing with everybody else. What Kobe Bryant did from 2000 to 2010 was remarkable. It was unheard of, and he was dominant. I mean, the nigga had a 50% win percentage in 10 years for us when it comes to winning championships. And we got to give him credit for that. Like you guys try to give credit for LeBron making it to eight straight finals without putting the context on. Imagine being a tough conference in the West where when you play your AFC, the AFC you won 55 games. They won 55 games because the West was that dominant of a conference. Year after year, you damn near you had to go through Tim Duncan just to make it to the NBA Finals. Uh, or either day you're going against some tough team like the Sacramento Kings here and there. You might have to go through the Houston Rockets. And Houston, you might have to go through teams like that. And at the end of the day, you persevered and you got five championships in 10 years to come out of that West. And you had to go against guys like KG, Amar Stoudemire, Steve Nash, of those Phoenix Suns teams. Tim Duncan, of course, with the Spurs with Manu and Tony Parker. Sacramento Kings, to me, even though they probably should have won that series of 2002, they got robbed. But see, Webb, Mike Bibby, Patrick Stojakovic, Hito Turkoglu, and those boys of Sacramento. Houston Rockets. If Yao Ming didn't break his foot, if Yao Ming didn't break his foot, you would have had Yao Ming, Ron Artest, Rafe Alston, Tracy McGrady, and those boys. If Yao Ming didn't break his foot, it could have been easy. Houston Rockets made the NBA Finals and beat the Lakers. So that's the type of competition he went through. LeBron James, yes, making it eight straight finals, John Wick, that's remarkable. That's great. That's a that's a major accomplishment. But at the same time, their biggest competition, what Indiana Pacers, with Roy Hibbert being the best player in one of those series. Paul George, he wasn't all the way developed. He was an up and coming guy. Derrick Rose, he was always hurt. But the Bulls really didn't have the supporting cast to help out D Rose because they was able to play a box of run one on Derrick Rose. What you going through a scary guy like DeMar DeRozan that always in fear of you in the Toronto Raptors? They called DeMar DeRozan the Frozen for a reason. So I mean, what legit the Boston said when he did have some great competition in the East, Boston got his ass whooped till he joined up with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. Detroit Pistons. You didn't beat Detroit until Ben Wallace, till Detroit Pistons let Ben Wallace walk, which was immature and which was dumb on Detroit's end. They let Ben Wallace walk. So you didn't beat Detroit till they did that move. So in all actuality, your greatest win in the Eastern Conference was the Big Three Celtics, but they was older. They was not as young anymore. They was injury riddled. Paul Pierce wasn't the same Paul Pierce. Ray Allen was the same Ray Allen. And in all actuality, the next year after you finally did beat Boston, they were dismantled because you guys got Ray Allen. So in all honesty, John Wick, in that 8 year span, what all time great team that you could really say LeBron James has beaten in the rather than 8 straight finals? I mean, there's really nothing that you can say. And no, John Wick, my Bulls was a deep. Lou Aldane, he's a good solid player, but not a star. You could look at his accolades. I mean, they speak for themselves. I need to see some ones. So I know you guys hear me because I feel to get deep. Because John Wick is talking about a team, my team that wasn't that great. Carlos Boozer. Since you like to mention Carlos Boozer, you know Carlos Boozer, John Wick, played with LeBron Ramon James. LeBron James had Carlos Boozer too. So Carlos Boozer great now. So Carlos Boozer that good now. Hey, Corey Turner. I tried to tell Ticket to throw in the towel for James Hayes. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Know Your Boy Sports and News, but I tried to get Ticket to throw in the towel, but James hard headed. He wanted to keep going and going and going, and he got cooked. So at the end of the day, we got guys like John Wick want to give guys like Carlos Boozer props. That's the same player LeBron James had. So you can't. Taj Gibson, not an all-star. Kyle Korver, he played with LeBron James as well. Jimmy Butler didn't get a lot of minutes with Chicago. Didn't wasn't really he was like a fourth option around that time. So you really can't say that. You really can't put Jimmy Butler in that conversation. If he was a Jimmy Butler now, that he is now with Derrick Rose, oh, we'd be in a whole different conversation. We probably could have beat LeBron James and them then. But D Rose with injury riddle, he wasn't the same anymore. Uh, we wasn't that nice. I knew even though we swept Miami during the regular season, I knew we wasn't ready when it came to the playoffs. Because when it comes to the playoffs, it's gonna be more half court oriented, and we didn't have the right guys for the half court offensive situations. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have another scorer. The best scorer Derrick Rose ever had was Ben Gordon, but you couldn't afford to have Ben Gordon because that's a very, very small backcourt. So you couldn't afford to have that small backcourt to go against the Miami Heat. Despite of the spot of you would have had two scores, but at the same time would have been exposed defensively and would not have been as great defensively if we would have had kept Ben Gordon. So we gotta be honest. So LeBron James, John Wick, his 8 straight finals appearances really not that impressive. Cause what all time